Okay, once you open your Revit architecture, you're going to be given an interface somewhat like that, and then we're going to go to the new, click on new, and from the template file we're going to be using the architectural template. So select the architectural template, and it is going to be a project, not a project template, and then we'll just click on OK. Okay, and then this interface will pop up, and here you will have the properties bar and the properties browser as well. So if you don't have those things here, or maybe you have closed them on purpose, or maybe you have closed them by mistake, the way you can bring them up is to go to the view tab. From the view tab, you're going to go to the user interface. From there, you just turn on the project browser, and then you're going to turn on the properties. So these are the two things we are going to need in our interface to carry out our actual work. Okay, in this video we're going to be fixing up the elevations for our model. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the project browser right over here, and from here you can see the elevations, and just click on this plus sign and open up any elevation you want. I'm going with the east. So here you go, you have level 0, and then we have level 1, and that is on the 4,000 millimeters. So I'm just going to select that, and then from the properties window we can change the elevation height from there, or we can just do a double click here or just a single click here after you have selected it, and we can change the height here manually. So we're gonna go with 3000, hit enter. So as you can see, it has now moved down, so we are at 3000. And now we're going to change the name of our levels. So instead of level 0, now I'm going to call this ground floor, but before I can call it ground floor, I'll put a number in front of it, 0, and then I'll write ground floor or GF. There you go. The reason I'm putting the 0 there is to get the ground floor first and then get the first floor or the roof floor. Okay, so if you were to give it just GF and here you say first floor or roof floor, then it is going to categorize the order in terms of alphabetical order. But if that happens, then ground floor is going to be the next floor in the floor plans label, and the roof is going to be the first one. So that is something that we don't want. In this case, this would not have happened, but still this is something that we don't want. That's why we don't use that. We're going to use the numbering system here. So now instead of level 1, we're going to call this 1 dot, and then we'll write off roof, because the building, the house that we're working on is just 1 story. So it's the ground floor and then the roof. Okay, so yep, we want to change it. So this is our ground floor, this is our roof. So we have now fixed the elevation. Okay, now that we have fixed our elevation, in this video we're going to be creating our walls. So in order to do that, we'll just double click on our ground floor once again. So right now we're in the ground floor plan view, and here you can see that another window has been generated here when we double clicked on the east. So this is the east elevation. So now we have 2 windows, and if you want to see 2 of the windows at once, what you can do is just press on W and T on your keyboard, and then both of the windows will be open side by side. If you had 3 windows, 3 windows would have been open. If you had 4 windows, 4 windows would have been open. So let me just show you. If I just open the roof as well, so I have now roof, ground floor, and the east. So I'm pressing on WT. As you can see, we now have 3 windows here. Now I don't want 3 windows, I don't want the rest of the windows, so I'm just closing them. There you go. We're just going to be on the ground floor window, and in this video we're going to be preparing our walls. So right now we're just gonna go to the architecture tab, and from there, if you click on the wall, there you go, click on the wall. Here in the properties panel, you can change the wall type. So there are different kinds of walls, and we're gonna go with the brick walls. Okay, so we're gonna go with a brick wall. So we will use this particular type of brick wall. Now this particular type of brick wall, if you go to the edit type here, you'll learn more about this brick wall, and the properties of this brick wall are given here. So here in the construction part, you can see the width of the wall. It is on 215. So if you want to change the width, you can change it up from here. Okay, So what we're going to do is we're going to give a width of 5 inch. So our exterior wall is going to be of 10 inches and our interior wall is going to be of 5 inches. So let me just convert it real quick from inch to millimeter. So we're going with the interior wall first, so it's going to be 254 millimeters. So what we're going to do is we're just going to click on the edit, and from here you can see the thickness, it's 215. So we just come over here and then we rewrite it as 254. Okay, and we click on OK, right? But that will change this particular wall type in this particular project file, but that is something that we do not want, so we're not going to be changing it first. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this type first, and then we're going to name it. We're going to name it, let's just say brick, and then give, let's say 10 inches. So brick 10 inches, click on OK. Now this is brick 10 inches. Now we go to the edit of structure, and then we type down 254 and then click on OK. So, and then click on OK again. As you can see now, basic wall, brick wall, 10 inches brick wall has been created here. Now if you go to edit type again and then click on duplicate, this time it is going to be brick 5 inches. Click on OK. And then go to edit, and then we're going to change it. Let's see, 5 inches is 127. So here we're gonna write up 127 and click on OK. So that's 127. Click on OK. So we have now our 5-inch walls and as well as our 10-inch walls. So these are the walls that we're going to be using here to create the walls of our house plan. Okay, now before we move on any further, we would like to save our model, and we'd like to save it somewhere we can access it easily. So to save the model, we're going to go to the File tab. From there, we're going to go to Save As. From there, we want to save it as a project. So we'll just click on Save as Project and then select the folder location wherever you want to save it. Name the file. I've named it as Project 1, and then click on Save, and it will be saved right over there. Okay, so it is now saved, and once you have saved this file as a new file, and every time that you work on it, you don't need to do the save as anymore. You can just go and do a regular save or press on Ctrl S. That way we can save our file, and there's also an interval within the Revit software to ask you for an auto save after an certain interval of time. Okay, now that the file is saved, we're going to go and start working on our project model. So first we're going to place the exterior wall. Just select the wall in the architectural tab right over there, and we're going to choose the brick 10 inch that we have chosen. Now you can see that the cursor has changed. Now we're going to start drawing the wall. So let's say I'm starting from somewhere around there. Move the cursor on the rightward direction, and then type on the length. So the length in millimeters is going to be 7950. Hit enter. So there we go, we have drawn one side of the length, and now it's going to go downwards, and this length is going to be 11254. Hit enter. You'll see that it has now been drawn. Now we go on to the leftward side again, and this length is going to be 4039. Hit on enter, and as you can see, that much has been drawn. Now we're going to press on the escape button to let go of that command, and we're going to start that command again, and we're going to start going from there. And here, when you have selected the wall in this tab right over here, you can select the height, and you can select it as depth. If you select it as depth, the walls are going to go down. If you select it as height, the walls are going to go up. So what I mean is, you can see it in the 3D view. Okay, so in the 3D view, this is the ground floor, this is the first floor. As you can see, the walls are going up, and they have gone quite a bit up, even up more than the first floor, because the height is given as 8000 and unconnected. But if I change it to, let's say, roof level, then it is going to go to roof level, and we will not be able to manually change it. But if it's an unconnected, we'll be able to manually give the height to it. And then the location is going to be wall center line. You can even give it in other in other options as well. Like for example, you can give it as core face exterior, core face interior. So we're going with the wall center line because we're using entirely brick walls, so that is what we're going to use. And this particular chain is allowing you to start a wall or when the other wall is ending. So if you zoom in here, you can see that the walls are kind of joined there, so they're not separate walls. So this is what the chain option is doing. It is creating a chain of walls instead of individual walls. Okay, and then you also have offset if you want to add offset. You also have the radius option if you want to do a radius there. And then joint status, it says allow. If you do a disallow here, the joint status, even if you're drawing in chains, they will not be joined together. Okay, so yeah, that was the basic of it. Now that we have drawn everything, another thing I want to show you is that how you can select the walls and then edit out the walls. So let's say we have drawn 3 10-inch walls here. So if you want to select the walls of the same property, just hover over one of the walls, and if you see that it is showing a blue border line on the edges of the wall, now you just press on the tab key on your keyboard, and now you can see that edge is showing on all of the walls of the similar property. Now you do a left click on your mouse to select all of the walls all together, and you come to the properties window here, and then you can see the top constraint here. It says unconnected and then the unconnected length. So we're going to change it to roof level. Okay, so there you go, roof level. So you cannot still see the change on your model. You can see the change on your model when you click on this apply button or you move your cursor on the work surface. So when I've moved my cursor on the work surface, I can see the change that has taken place. Now we go back to our ground floor level again. We again select the wall. We're working on the wall, the 10-inch wall. Now if you go here, you can see that the snap is going to turn on there. And now we want to go down. The length is going to be 9, 1. And if you go like that, that will not work because it's still unconnected. First, we're going to change it to roof. So this is going to be at roof level now. Wall center line, everything else is okay. We just select that. Now we go down. The length is going to be 9169. Hit enter. Okay, and then it's going to go towards this direction, and the length is going to be 3912. Hit enter. Okay. All right, so that is the exterior wall of the house plan that we're working on. So the exterior wall has now been drawn. Now we're going to go and draw the interior walls, but we're going to do that in the next video. Okay, now that we have drawn up our exterior walls, we're going to go and do the interior walls. Now we go to the wall again, and this time we're going to take in the 5-inch wall because the interior wall is going to be 5-inch wall, as you can remember. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, select this particular point, and then go all the way up. Don't worry about the wall locations right now because we will be able to change the wall locations, and everything else is going to automatically adapt to that. Now press on escape to let go of that. Now we're just placing the walls where we think they're supposed to be, and later on we're going to fix the dimensions, and you have your house plan project dimension detailed drawing, so you can use those dimension values to edit in the dimensions later, and we're going to see all of that happening here. Okay, so now there's supposed to be another wall coming from there to there somewhere, right? So we're placing that wall, and up next we have another wall coming there to somewhere there, and it goes all the way, let's say, up to there. Press on escape, and then again we start another wall from, let's say, there to there. So those are all the interior walls that we have in the plan. Now we're just going to fix up the dimension of the interior walls. So to do that, we're going to select the walls. To select the wall, and you can see the dimensions showing here. So the dimension from this side of the wall to this side of this wall is 3912, and if you look at our project dimensions, the dimension is correct, so we don't have to edit that out. Now we just select this thing, and we see that the dimensions are not okay, so we're going to fix the dimensions. So this dimension is going to be 4267, so 4267. Hit on enter. Now you can see that both of the dimensions now have been fixed here. Okay, so this is 4267 from there to there, there to there, and then from here to this location we have 4521. Okay, all right, so we will leave it at that, And now we're gonna come right over here, select this particular wall, and we can see the dimension here. It's going to be 4689. So we change it to 4689 and then hit enter. There you go, that's done. Now we select this wall and we're going to see the distance. So the distance is going to be, okay, all right. So the distance is from here, the distance is going to be 3113. So 3113, hit enter. So now we have 3113 right over there. Now we move over here and we're going to select this particular wall and see the distance from there to there. So the distance is supposed to be, this particular distance is supposed to be 1931. So we'll go with 1931 and then hit enter. Okay, so that's that, and it now has been fixed. Again, let's see this, 2944. Okay, and here, okay. All right, so we have now fixed the interior wall locations as well and the interior wall dimensions as well. If you go to the 3D view, you can see the interior walls as well as the exterior walls there. Okay, so let's leave it at that, and up next we're going to be placing the doors and the windows to our plan. Okay, before we can go on to place our doors and windows, we need to create the floors. So we're going to go to the architectural tab. From there we're going to go to the floor option in the build ribbon. From there we're going to choose floor architectural, and the floor that we're going to choose is the ground layer bearing floor, because this is the floor of the ground floor. So just select that, and we're going to select the option of pick walls for drawing. There are many options here in the contextual tab, but we're going to use the pick walls. This is by far the easiest for this and proper as well. So we're going to select all the walls, and remember, as long as there's no periphery or there's no closed area, the floor is not going to be generated. Now if I click on the green tick there, it's supposed to be generated, but it's not generating because you can see that there's an intersection there that is creating a obstacle. So we'll just click on continue. We just need to get rid of some things that don't belong there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the split element option and then turn on the delete inner segment if it is not turned on, and then we're gonna come right over here, select that location, and then we come right over here and select this location, and as you can see that the inner segment is now gone. But even after that is gone, you can see the press on escape to let go of that command. Okay, now we have our modifying cursor back again. Now if you go here, you can see the pink lines representing the end of the slab. So you can see that the slab is ending there and here. So this particular wall is going outside of the slab. So this is something that we don't want. So what we want to do is we want to select this particular pink line, and you can see this little arrow symbol. Just click on it and it will go on the other side of the wall. There we go, it's perfect now. And as you can see, yep, we'll just do a last check. Yep, everything seems perfect. So we just click on the green tick, and there seems to be an issue. Lines cannot intersect each other. Highlighted. Okay, let's see what's wrong here. Okay, right over here you can see that there is another line that has remained. Just select that line and press on the delete key of your keyboard. There you go. So when I cut it from here. Actually I was supposed to cut it from there, so that was a mistake. Okay, now just click on the green tick, and as you can see the floor now has been drawn. So we have the floor slab there. Now if you want to select the floor slab again, you'll see that you cannot select the floor slab even if you click on some empty space, because we are not allowing it to select. What we need to do is we need to come down over here, and you can see the option select elements by face. You turn that on, and now you can select the slab whenever you want, and then you can go and edit the boundary of the slab using this edit boundary option from there as well. Okay, so we'll turn this select elements by face off, because we can by mistake click on the slab that we don't want to select on. Now if you go to the 3D view, you can also see that the slab now has been generated here. You can see the slab on the bottom, and if you press on the rolling button of your mouse and then press on the shift but on your keyboard you'll be able to move the model like that. You can see the inside of it, so you can see the floor on the inside as well of the model. Okay, so that is how we place a slab. Right, so we have placed the ground floor slab. Okay, in this video we're going to see how we can draw a slab boundary here. So we're going to use the slab to draw a boundary for this property. So here we're going to go to the architectural tab. From there we're going to go to floor again. For architectural we're going to select the same type of floor, the ground bearing one, because it is on the ground floor. This time, instead of using the pick walls, we're going to use the pick lines, and we're going to select the outer lines of the building. There you go. As you can see, we have to trim here again, so we select the trimming option and then delete inner segment, and then we're gonna come right over here, select this little point, and then go right over there, select it, and it is gone. So we select our modify again, and now this is the inner boundary, so we have to give the outer boundary. So we're going to choose the pick lines options again, but this time we're going to give it an offset of 2000, and we're going to draw the offsets. Just put your cursor over there. It is going to show you a preview of where the line is going to be if you click. So if you want it inside, you can also see it like that, but if you want on the outside, just move your cursor on the outside portion of that particular line, and then do a click, and it has now been drawn there. We're going to draw another one there, another one here, and another one right over there. Okay, so that is done. Now what we can do to make these things join, we can use this trim or extend option. Just select it and then select both of the lines, and they will be joined up right over there. Okay, now that we have joined it, you can see that it is quite a rectangular kind of area. But if you don't want a rectangular kind of area, what you can do is you can select the fillet arc option and then choose both of those and give a radius of your liking. So at first we're just going with a random number. Again, on this side we're giving it another radius, let's say like that. Now we can see that the radius is here for 3000, and if you again select the modify, come over here, you can see the radius is 3400. We can just change it to 3000 and hit enter, so the radius is going to change to 3000. Now that we have our boundary slabs drawn, and we just need to click on the screen tech and it will be drawn right over there. So it is now done. You can see you can even select it, even if the select elements by face option is turned off, because you can see the boundary and you can select it by the boundary, not by the face. So don't think that the option is turned on just because of that. And if you go to the 3D view, you can see that the boundary that we have just drawn right over there. Okay, so that is the boundary, and yeah, it is actually different from the slab inside because we didn't draw it all together. So there are two different elements having the same kind of property. Okay, so let's go back to the ground floor plan. Now that we have drawn our floor as well as the boundary line, we can go in now and place our doors and windows into our project model. Okay, so now in this video we're going to be placing the doors and the windows to our project model. So if we come right over here, and we're going to place the doors here. So for the doors, you could go to the architectural tab and click on the door. The shortcut for it is DR, and here in the properties you can see and find many types of doors. So here the single doors, we're going to choose let's see, we're going to choose the 1010 by 2110. So this is the 1010 by 2110. This will be chosen for the rooms. So if you just place it on the wall, you can see that the doors will appear there, and just do a mouse click to place them the way you want. And if you don't like the orientation or you want to flip it, you can just press on the space bar. There you go, and now it is flipped to the right direction. Now just do a left click of the mouse and the door will be placed, and the walls will also be edited out. Okay, now again we come over here on the side and we would like to flip it, so we're going to press on the space bar. There you go, it is flipped, Now we have placed the doors on 2 of the rooms. Now we need to place a door on the washroom. So that door is going to be the 800 by 2110. So this is going to be the door on the washroom. So we're going to choose a place, let's say somewhere around here for the washroom, and then do a mouse click, left click, and the door has been now added. Now we're going to place a main door. So for the main door, we're going to select the exterior door types, and here the door dimension that we're going to be using is the 1810 by 2110. Just select that and place the main door right over here, and if you want the panels to open on from the inside, you just move it around a bit until it is on the inside, and do a left click on the mouse and the door will be added there automatically. Okay, all right, so you can even just press on the escape button to let go of the command, press it again to get the mouse, and then select the door, and then you can use your up, down, left, right arrow keys in your keyboard to move around the door. Okay, all right, so you can use your keyboard to replace the doors as well. Now if you select on the door, it is going to give you the dimensions. So it is 100 millimeters away from this particular this boundary of the wall. If you select this one, you'll see this one is also 100 millimeters away from there. So we're going to make that 200 millimeters. So we just select the dimension and type in 200, hit enter. Now it is 200. Again, select that dimension, click on, and at 200, so it's 200 millimeters away from that. Now you come to the washroom door and select it again, it's 100 millimeters away, so we're going to make it 200 millimeters away from that. Okay, so now we have placed the main doors that we wanted to place there. Now we would want to add in a back door here as well. So this is the kitchen section, and for some reason, let's say that your client wants a back door from there. So you can also add a back door there. We'll just go there, choose a door that is to our liking, place the door somewhere around there, wherever it is suitable, maybe somewhere around here. Just select that, and the door will be added to that location. Okay, so we're not going to be going with the door in that location. We'll just select the door and delete the door, and you'll see that the wall actually turns back on. Okay, now in this video we're going to be placing the windows. So we're going to be placing 3 types of windows. The smallest window that we're going to place is going to be of the 910. So we're going to go to the architectural tab, and here you can see the window. The shortcut for it is WN. Just select it, and from the properties window we're going to select the 910 by 910. This is the most smallest window there is, and then we're going to place the window in certain locations. So if you zoom right over here, you can see that the window panel is when it is placed like this, and if you place it like that, the window panel is going to be towards you, and then this is actually the opposite. This is not the correct orientation, so this is going to be the correct orientation. So we're going to place the window like that in there, and then we're going to place another similar kind of window right over there, and we're going to place a similar kind of window right over here. Okay, 2 small windows are placed over there. Now we're going to go for the second category of window, that is going to be the 1360. So there goes the 1360 type window, and we're going to place it in a few more locations. Let's say that we're going to place it in this particular location. One will be on here, another one will be just right beside it, right over there. 2 of the windows have now been placed there, and the same windows are also going to be placed right over there. 1 window, another window will be on that location. Similarly for this room, 1 window there, another window there. So this doesn't have to be perfect. The dimensions and the location of the windows doesn't have to be perfect, because the purpose of building this model is for you to learn the basics of Revit enough to work on a house plan. Okay, so we're going to select another window that is going to be the biggest window yet. That is going to be the 1810 by the 910. So that is the largest window by far that we're using. So we're going to place one of those windows right over here and another window right over there. Okay, so these are all the windows that we wanted to place in our model. Now if you go to the 3D view, you can see the model is now having doors and windows as well. Okay, so we have the walls, we have the doors, we have the windows, and then we have the bottom slab as well. Okay, so there are 3 windows there, windows and windows. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, now in this video we're going to be placing the dimensions around our house plan. So for the dimensions, what you can do is you can use this align dimensions on the quick access toolbar right over there. And if you don't want to use it from here, you can also go to the annotate tab and you'll find the aligned dimensions tool right over there. Okay, so we're just going to take on the align dimensions tool, and here it's going to be, let's see, wall center lines, yep, and then pick individual reference points. Instead of individual reference points, if you take the individual reference points, then you have to choose the individual reference points yourselves. For example, let's say this is going to be my reference point 1, this is going to be my reference point 2, so like that. So this is something that we don't want. We want it to be automatic. So you're going to choose the entire walls and go to the options and then turn on openings and take the width. Now if you select the wall, and you can see that all the dimensions are now being taken even without your intervention in there. Okay, so before we can give the dimension, I just noticed that we are in need of a few more windows there. So we're just going to place a few more windows. So this was our type third. Okay, so this is the type that we're going to use. Let's go to window. This is the window that we want, and we want this window, let's say, on the side one and another one on that. And we want one window in this particular location and another window on this particular location. Or maybe we can just go with one window only. Select it, delete it, select this window, use your arrow keys on your keyboard to give it a proper location. There we go, and there's that is done. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's done. Alright, there we have it. Now we're gonna go with the dimensions. Let's select the align dimensions, entire walls. Yep, options are all okay. Now select the wall, and you can see the dimensions are being given there. Put the dimensions somewhere right over there. That's one wall done. Now there isn't something we want. Let's take another wall. Let's put the dimensions right over there. There you go, it's done. Let's take this wall. Let's put the dimension there. Let's take this wall. Put the dimension right over there. Let's take this wall and put the dimensions right over there. Okay, so I think we now have all the dimensions given there. So what we can do is press on the escape button and just do remove this elevation bubbles. You can just select them and use your cursor on your keyboard. Okay, just select them using the selection and then move them up. So in Revit, just like AutoCAD, there are 2 types of selection. So if you click and then drag on the rightward side, this is the entire engulfed area selection. So whenever the line is touching the object, it is not being selected. Only when the object is covered by the selection area, the object is being selected. Okay, and if you want to use the touch selection, what you can do is just do a click and move your cursor to the leftward side, and you can see that whenever it is touching an object, it is automatically being selected. So we're going to select that, move that out a bit, and then again we're going to select this object, move it out on the leftward side. Okay, there we go. There, that's done. So here we now have our dimensions given there, and yeah, so our dimensions there are done. Next up, we're going to be creating the rooms here and then create a legend for the rooms here. Okay, in this video we're going to be placing the roof. So if you go to the 3D view, you can see that our model doesn't have a roof right now, so we need to give the roof. To give the roof, we're going to go to the first floor plan view, the roof plan view. So there you go, on the roof plan view. And if you come here and don't see anything, that means in the properties window, if you go down, you'll find something that says underlay. So there you go, underlay. So the range is given as ground floor. So if your range is set as none on the roof level, you'll see nothing. Okay, so make sure that it is given to ground floor, because if the underlay is given to roof, there you go. Okay, oh sorry, that's the range. Let's just give roof there. If we give the underlay as roof, since there is nothing on the roof, you'll also not see anything. So there, we'll just give the range as ground floor for this particular model. There you go. Now we're going to go to the architectural tab. From there, we're going to go to the floor, and we're going to take the architectural floors, and this time we're going to place a concrete type of floor. There you go. This is the type of floor that we're going to place. We'll be using the pick walls option once again, and then we're going to place the walls. There you go. Select the wall, select that wall. Select that particular wall, select that particular wall, select that particular wall. All the walls have now been selected. Now again, we have to trim this part out, otherwise the slab will not be drawn. So selecting it right over there, coming up to this point, and voila, it's gone. Now that it's gone, we may need to make sure of the boundaries. So you can see this boundary is laying on this side of the wall, but it's supposed to be on this side of the wall, because the 10-inch walls are the walls that are going to be supporting the slab on top. So the entire wall must be under the area. So we'll just select it and use these arrows to flip the location. So all the locations seem okay right now. So since all the locations seem okay-ish to us, and we're just going to click on the green tick, and it will ask if you want to attach. So just click on attach. There you go, it is now done. Now if you close the roof level, there we go, and go to the 3D view, and we can see that we have a solid concrete roof on top of our house model. Okay. Alright, now we come back to ground floor, and now that we have drawn our roof, from the next video we can move forward from there. Okay, so in this video we're going to be separating the rooms. So in order to do that, we're going to go to the architectural tab, and in the room and area ribbon you'll see the room option. We'll just select that, and we're going to place a room inside our room. So when you're placing a room, you're not essentially placing a room. What you're placing there is the dimension of the room and information on that room. So this is going to be a room, so we've placed it there. So this is going to be another room, we have placed it there. This is going to be a washroom, so we have placed a washroom symbol there. Now if you come to place a room here, you can see that the entire open space is being taken as a room. But if you look at the project picture, the floor plan picture, you can see that there are 3 separate rooms, so you cannot apply the room there like that. So what we're going to do is press the escape button. Okay, so we have now 3 rooms. So in order to make those rooms, we need to add in a room separator. So we're going to use the room separator right over here. It is also in the architectural tab and in the room and area ribbon. Select on the room separator and select the line option. So the line option, it is going to be from, let's say, here to here. That's one separator. Press the escape button to let go, and then there's going to be another separator from here to here. Press on the escape button to let it go, and press on the escape again to let go of the command. Now you take the room, and as you can see, we can put in different rooms now. So there we have the kitchen. There you go. This is going to be the hallway, and this is going to be the living room. Okay, so press on escape. Now that you have added all of the rooms there, we're just going to edit the name of the rooms. We're going to call it, let's call this the bedroom 1. So we'll write it as, or just bedroom. There you go, it's done. Now we come over here, we want to edit this room, we'll call it master bed. So this is the master bed, and then here we come here, and this is going to be the kitchen, and this one is going to be the hallway, so not the number, so let's call it hallway, and let's call this the washroom. Okay, the washroom, and let's call this the living room. There you go. So we have added the rooms there and the room information there. Now we would want to add a room legend there. So this is something that we're going to see in the next video. Okay, now in this video we're going to see how we can add the legend for the rooms. So to add the legend for the rooms, we're going to go to the annotate tab, and from here in the color fill ribbon you can see color fill legend option. Just click on it and it is going to give you a little legend box to place wherever you want to place. So let's say that we want to place it somewhere around here. There we have placed it. Now it wants you to set the space type. So for the space type we're going to select the rooms, and the colors, the color scheme is going to be by room name. We can either set it as by department or by room number as well, but we want it by the room name. So click on OK, and as you can see they have been separated as by room name. Now the thing is that you can see that all of the rooms are having a different name. So if two rooms had the same kind of name, then they would have been given the same color scheme. For example, if I said that this is no longer master bed, let's just call it a bedroom as well. So I select it and I edit it out as bedroom, hit enter. You can see that the color of the room has now changed because this is a bedroom as well, this is a bedroom as well. Okay, so this is something that you can play around with, and this is something that is very useful as well if you at some point want to change the type of the room there. So again, let's just call it master bedroom. Okay. Alright, so there we go. We have color schemed the different rooms and different styles as well, and the room legend, you can place it wherever you want. Maybe you want it on that side, maybe you want it on some other side, or right over wherever you want it. Okay, so this is how you can add a legend to your room. So okay, in this video we're going to be adding some components to our model. So for example, we're just going to be adding some trees here and there. So we're going to go back to the architectural tab, and here in the components, if you click on the drop down, you can select place a component, and here in the properties you can select there are many types of components there. So we're going to select the tree components. Let's say, which trees do we want? Okay, we'll take two of these, one right over there and then one right over there. Let's take some other trees as well. Let's add a little cherry here. Okay, and let's get some smaller trees. Okay, that's done. I think that's enough. If we go to the 3D view, you can see that there have been some trees added there. Okay, I think these 3 trees are a bit overkill, so I'm just removing them. Okay, select the trees. Right, let's just go to the ground floor plan. So select this tree. Delete, select, delete. Okay, so I think yeah, 3 trees will be good enough. So yeah, so that is it on the placing components, and if you want you can also place other components as well. You can place furnitures as well. If you go over there, you can see that there is a desk furniture, and then you can import furnitures from somewhere else as well and place them on the rooms as well to work on the interior of it. Okay, now that we have completed the plan and the architectural drawing, we're going to see how we can present it in the sheets. So here in the project browser, if you go down here, okay, in the project browser you'll see sheets, and it says sheets all. So we have one sheet available for us, the A100 unnamed, that is given to us by Autodesk. So this is the sheet right over here. You can see the project name, a title, owner, etc, etc. So let's edit the project name. Let's give this, let's say that house plan. Okay, project name is house plan. Title would be, let's say, HD1, house type 1. The owner is going to be us, not the US, it is us. The author, let's say, since I have drawn it, my initials ZZ, checked by also ZZ, and as you can see, it is putting the date in automatically, today's date, the day I'm recording this lecture. This is the date there, and then you can add the project number as well. Let's say that this is our very first project, so project number 1. The drawing number, you can also say that this is going to be the drawing number 1. Okay, so when you give the drawing number there, you can see that the drawing number has automatically been added there. Alright, so now that we have prepared our sheet, we're ready to bring in our drawings into the sheet, which we'll see in the next video. Okay, in this video we're going to see how we can prepare the sheets. So in order to prepare the sheets, you can just go to the sheets, do a right click on the sheets, and then click on new sheet. It is going to create a new sheet. So there's a standard sheet already given there, so we're going to go with that. So standard sheet has now been created. Here, as you can see, the project name is house plan because I have made that name in the first sheet that was available there as house plan and then plan. So here on the unnamed, the title is supposed to be plan because here we already have plan. The client name I put as US, drawn by ZZ, checked by ZZ. Date is going to be auto-generated, the date we're working on, the date I'm recording this video, and then the project number, drawing number is also something that you have to place in. The scale will automatically be updated here once we import the drawings there. Okay, so in the plan sheet, we're going to put in the plan. So to put in the plan, we're just going to go use our project browser, and then we're going to select the ground floor and drag it to this particular sheet, and we can click on to say wherever we want it. Now, as you can see that the floor plan is too small for the paper, so we're going to edit the floor plan scaling. If you go to the floor plan, you can see the scale here. You can edit it out from here, or what you can do is you can stay in the sheet and do a double click on the plan. This will activate the ground floor plan editing within the sheet. And here we're going to go to a custom range, and we're going to say that the ratio is going to be 1:40. Click on OK. So there we have now 1:40 set up there. Now another thing you may notice or come across is that if you come here on the properties in the extents, you can see the crop view is turned on, annotation is turned on. So if all of those are turned on for me, but they might not be turned on for you. So what the case can be is that they're at some kind of location like that. So you have everything in here. Okay, you even have the elevation bubbles and all that. So to remove all of those, you just come to the extents in the properties and then turn all of this on, crop view, crop region, and annotate crop, and then bring the cropped line to a location that is going to be suitable for you. Okay, just bring it there and there. Okay, so there we go, and you can remove the region. Okay, and there we go. As you can see, we can no longer see the elevation bubbles there. Okay, alright, do double click on that, and now you can just select it and move it into place wherever you want to place it. There you go, and then you can remove this ground floor writing as well. When you're trying to remove the ground floor writing, as you can see, when I'm trying to remove this, the entire thing is being moved. So what happens is you just select it, you move the entire thing into the place that you want, and then you select this ground floor separately and move it up separately. So there we go, we have the ground floor writing and it's showing the scale, and we have all the dimensions there as well. But as you can see, the dimensions are hardly being able to see in this sheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the dimensions, and then we're going to edit the dimension. So let's say this was the dimension type. You just go to edit type, click on duplicate, just the same way we did for the walls. Now let's say this is going to be a 6 millimeter text size. So just write 6 millimeter, click on OK. Now come down here in the text tab, and here text size, change it to 6 millimeters and click on OK. It is now changed into 6 millimeters. Now it is quite easily being able to be read. Now you select the other dimensions. I've selected another dimension, and then I'm pressing on the control button to add more. Select that, select that, select that, and now change the type to 6 millimeter for all of them. Now you can see all of the dimensions there. Okay, just do a double click on the outside and you'll be back to your sheet views from the activated ground floor view. So this is the ground floor on the sheet that you would want to print out or take out. And then you can do a right click on another sheet and create another sheet, but we have already seen how to do that. So we go to sheet 2, which is unnamed. We're going to call that the elevation, elevation. So here we're going to put the all of the elevation views in this particular sheet. To bring them, we first bring the east elevation to this location. There you go, we have the east elevation there. Again, this is 1:100. We can change the scale if we activate it, and if we try to put 1:50, okay, that's a good size. And do a double click on the outside once again. Just select it, place it into a suitable position. Let's go. That's the east. Now we bring in the north. There we go, north. Just edit this line up. Okay, do a double click on that. The size, let's give it 1:50 again. Do a double click on the outside, select that. So that's east and that's north. So what we can do is we can add 4 of these here. So we're gonna have to edit the size. Instead of 1:50, we'll just go to a custom size and say 1:70. Click on OK. All right, so that is, do a double click on there. That's one of those. That's the second one. So this was 1:50. We're going to change it to 1:70 as well. So 1:70. Do double click on the outside. There you go. So we have the east and the north. Now we bring in the south and the west as well. The elevation views. Okay, now do a double click on the south one, change it to custom 70, click on OK. There, that is done. Do a double click on the outside, do a double click on this one, change it to custom, do it to 70, click on OK, and do a double click on the outside. Now we're going to arrange them. Okay, I'm going to arrange their locations. Okay, you can place it right there, beautifying it. Okay, there we go. So we have the elevations in one sheet, and then we have the plan on another sheet as well. Okay, so that is how we can put our drawings into the presentation sheets, and then we can export this presentation sheets as well. Okay, so if you want a realistic view, what you can do is to double click on that, and you see the visual style here. So the visual style, if you give it to realistic, it may take a while. So realistic may take up a lot of CPU power, but if you want to give a realistic, you can give a realistic here and show a realistic view of the elevations. But if you want to save power, you can go with the hidden line. So hidden line also works. Okay, so all of them are right now in the hidden line view, style of view. Okay, so these are the elevation, so that's why we wrote down elevation there, and then we have also given the plan as well. Up next, we're going to see how we can export these as PDFs, and then you can always print them from the PDFs using an appropriate printer. Okay. Okay, in this video we're going to see how we can take a printout. So taking the printout is really easy. You just go to the window that we want to have a printout of. Let's say if we want to have the printout of elevation, we go to the elevation window, and then from there we go to file. From there we go to print, and here you'll go to print. And if you have Adobe or any kind of other PDF reader, you can select that PDF reader if you're not, or if you want to directly, print from a printer, and then that printer is connected to your device, your computer or your laptop, then you can select that printer from here as well. So I'm keeping it as Adobe PDF because I already have access to Adobe PDF there. Okay, and then you can see that the print range is set as current window. If you just click on OK, it is going to print up that this particular page as a PDF file, and then you can print that PDF file later on when you have access to a printer. Okay, so I'm not printing it right now. I'm just clicking on cancel. So this is how you can print it as well. Alright, so that is it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you got to learn something.